So I decided to clean up, sandblast, and primer and paint my band straps for the tank. Tank straps in apple red. I had a little bit of red left, just enough to do these and maybe touch them up. That's it. I don't have any more left. Acrylic enamel. And a red cap. Here's my mess. It's gotta go. It looks good. The other night I sandblasted. Oh, I didn't sandblast these. I just scuffed them all up. I got a pretty damn good primer, and I painted these in that hammered silver color. I took them off, took pieces apart. I keep saying sandblasted. Scuffed them up with some 80 grit, primered them, and put them in hammered silver. And this thing is rock solid, and it's about probably 1.5 inches above the starter. Clear as the throttle cable. We've got a little notch for the throttle cable, like I said before. But I can put my tank straps on, I can put my tank on, and then I can forget about it. The tank is over here. The tank straps are, of course, drying. They're red. I think I'm going to take the battery tray out next and scuff that up and put it in hammered silver also. Primer and silver. It's got this little weird ripply effect to it, like it's been hit with a hammer. Kids across the street screaming, having a blast. Alright, having fun. Well, that was fun. Took the tire off 3 times. You have to take the tire off to get the fender in. When you get the fender in, because it's not connected to the bracket, you got to line it up and mark it. Well, how do you mark it if you can't get the tire? It's a big mess. But I welded the bracket from the old original Kawasaki Fender to the middle of the original Red Baron Fender. This is one, I believe me and my father skinned this thing in. I wire formed a shape over the original Fender, and then I cut it out, and I used the wire form, and we stretched some, I think it was nylon or lycra or something over it, just to get this rippled effect like the wings of the airplane, right? I'd love to do that for the back fenders if they're going to be huge. But I welded the Kawasaki bracket. Not the, what the hell was the other one? I don't even remember what the other one was. SR250, something like that. I welded the center bracket from the Kawasaki to the inside of my original Fender that we made 3 years ago, maybe 4. And it's nice to see it's being used for what it was meant for. It wasn't supposed to be a Trike, but it's a Trike now. I like the cloth effect of the fiberglass over it. Got a few little repairs to do, and I might sand it down a little bit, maybe put another clear coat on it, and paint it apple red and put it all back together nice and slow. I did scratch the inside of one of my forks just a little bit, but nothing you can't touch up when it's going back together for the last time, because this definitely isn't the last time for the front end. That tire's got to be changed, the fender's got to be painted. I have to get the brakes on. Yeah, never ends. My rings are out there. Like I said, I painted them apple red. The battery tray is out. You can see the battery tray is out. I'm sitting on my stool. I'm not getting up. I got it out back. I always paint outside, or near the door at least. And I cover things like the engine so you don't get red spots all over it. So the fender's on. The battery tray is painted. The rings are painted. I'm just going to wait a day for things to dry, or a few hours or whatever. Maybe tonight I'll put them on. But it looks good. I keep giving it the engine test here. Let's see if it'll start. First I got to get these off my belt, right? Alright. Now I don't smell gas, and they're famous for smelling the gas because, well, it's a carbureted engine. Let me make sure I got my keys here. Where are my keys? Here's my keys. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. Power on. Oh, the battery's out. Duh! That's right. Battery's out. I should take these out while I'm here. These are all rusty. One bracket, 4 bolts. Oh, look at all the stuff on this one. Cockapoo. Nah, I can do that later. Alright. Having fun. Alright, it's been a few hours later. There's my Fender. Battery's in. Connected. Might actually start now. Painted, hammered. Hammered silver, just like this. Love it. Great color. Everybody likes that color. So, will she run? Let's turn on the power. All my lights are on. My floodlights are on, which can be shut off. Press my button to activate my thingy. Give it a shot of juice. It's got to warm up now. It'll even out. Windshield's back on too, I forgot about that. Ah, it's evened out. The leaf blower. But man, these Volkswagens smell like gas. Whew. There's no gas leaks anymore. I had, like I said, 2 with those stupid booties leaking. I ordered new booties, right? Okay, they sent me 1. It says 2, pack of 2. They sent me 1. Who's the idiot that sent me 1? Alright, I'm going to play with some more things, see what I can put together. Loving the Fender, that looks cool. I was thinking I had it upside down. I'm like, no, that's right. It's got a point on this end. This one's got a point, but it's not as rash as that point. It's just a hair off. If you don't look at it, you won't see it. Actually, no, it's not. Ooh, could go like a 16th this way, but hey, Rome wasn't built in a day. That was built in like 3 days. Alright, my battery's going dead, son of a bitch. What to do, what to do? I got so much. I put my windshield back on, like I said, if you didn't hear me. I like it is you can pick it up right there and the whole front end comes off the ground. You can mess with the tire and whatever and put the tire back on and put it back in the ground. 2 minutes. What to do, what to do. I got a green LED. I wonder if I can put it in the ball. I know I keep talking about that. Maybe I'll do that. Alright, having fun. So I found a bright white LED and I put it in there. It's connected by my battery. And ran the wire, wrapped it with tape on the shaft, the shifter shaft. Could find a way to get the wires over there, huh? So it's part of the ignition. Paid a lot of money for that thing a long time ago. I think it was like 60 bucks. Good to see it working. So, purple is positive and white is negative. Not bad. Alright, it's been a good night. Did a little work after work. I'm going in. Have a good night. Woohoo! Wired to the ignition. Ignition's on, the light's on. Have a good night. There goes George. Guy I met today. He came and bought one of my subwoofer speakers, but he wants to come by and hang out, work on the trike with me. My seat. I have this tractor seat I really like, and I put it on the back, and it looks pretty damn good. And you got all these 5/16 holes. I need to make brackets to go across, but I need to connect them from left to right here first. I was thinking of getting rid of these steel bars or leaving them there and putting something over the top of them, because I want to raise it up higher than the battery poles, of course, and maybe move the seat up to, I don't know, half the level of the backrest or something like that. But what have I done? Well, what did I do that you don't know about? I got my old school KYB gas shocks. They're actually brand new. They were never installed, but they were nasty. So I scuffed them all up and I painted them bright silver. I even put the stickers back on. Gas adjust, made in Japan. My bumper is still right there. I welded up the front fender. Had to grab it from the middle. That way it can flex around and not affect anybody. But this was on the original Red Baron, which was a Yamaha SR250 that just never came to be. Remember, the engine was right here for the longest time. We had it going together, and my buddy had to move and he lost everything in the garage. People come in and took what they want. Well, they took the frame to the motorcycle too. But she starts right up, runs good. I mounted the tank last night. I painted my straps red. And then, I spent an hour or two just sanding them down. I put them in primer, let it dry, put another coat of primer, let it dry, and then I had very little apple red left, just enough to paint these two straps, and that was it. My tray, like I think I said before, I took that all apart. I painted it in hammered silver, which is like a dark silver color with like fish eyes in it intentionally. Came out okay. I painted the battery box, hammered silver. So I'm going to make a couple brackets and see what I can fabricate to hold up the back seat, because when you put it there it looks really cool. And we got 11 gallons. There's nothing in it, but we got 11 gallons. I got a notch in the thing for the fuel line coming out. It's not screwed in all the way, but it's in there. I put a little extension. I got to put a shut-off valve so I can turn this one on, turn this one on, turn that one off. Maybe even fill this one with that one and have that as a backup. When you run out of gas, you pull a switch, bing, and you're on the road again. I've had this, it's a pool ball actually. It's a company that makes pool balls, and they make custom shift knobs. This is the pearlescent blue. It's actually pretty cool, but the other night I added something to it. I'd had to drill a hole in it. Let me shut those lights off. Looks really cool. It's got an LED in it. A bright LED, just enough to light it up. I don't want to burn out my coil. I'll shut that off. The windshield is back on. I got this windshield for free because it has a scratch right there. If you don't look at it, you don't see it. My 40 headlight is covered in dust. My fender is on. That looks awesome. The disc brake is off. Am I going to put brakes in the front? Not right now. Maybe in the future. I need more bed liner spray for my running boards. The backrest, am I taking it off? Unless when I lift that front end up and it feels better, I'm taking it off. It's kind of aggravating. Alright, I'm going to cut some 41.5-inch long strips and see how they fit on top of this. That might actually lift my battery up and back, which would be a good thing because I still got a couple inches back there. And it will get it away from my trailing arms. You know, it's like right near the trailing arm. It doesn't hit it, but I think if the trailing arm came up, it would hit it. Could always whack it with a hammer, but let's do it right the first time, right? Alright, having fun. Alright, well I made one piece of 1.5" angle iron that goes to about 1.5 inches away from the tire on both sides. I made it extend because I'm thinking in the near future I'm going to need some kind of a fender bracket. What I did is I left that thick 1 inch by 1/2 inch bar underneath. Here goes that friggin' focus. The zoom. I hate that thing. Alright, and I put the angle iron just over it with a couple washers, and the couple washers are so I can get my bracket for the battery in here, and pinch this in between the two. So I've got my base to work off of. I got to do something with the front now. Maybe do the same thing. I don't really have to have it that thick, but can't hurt it. Alright, I get to take this beauty off next and transfer all the holes from it to another piece of steel. Angle iron, I hope. Having fun. Better shut the camera off. KYB. Anyway, here's my tractor seat. It's got like 1,000,000 holes in the bottom. 5, 16, 18? Probably. Here is the front steel bar, laying in a brand new piece of angle iron cut to the same width as the last one, which I forget what it is, so don't ask me. I have to transfer those holes because those go to the light. These bolt to the end. That one goes to the light, this one goes to the end. Now I had those holes in the front for those switches. I think I'm going to put them somewhere else though. This was a switch, those two holes, and this one was that gas selector valve thing. I'm going to hide it. I'm going to put it underneath and behind it or something, so all you see is the head, or you got to look for it, you know what I mean? But I've made my center marks there and there. It's close enough. And I'm drilling the holes in this piece. 1/4 inch, and that looks like 3/8, maybe a little bigger. 1/4 inch, 3/8. I was pointing you over here. 3/8, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, maybe bigger, maybe bigger. Let's see, what is this? This is illegible. Thank God for those little plastic cards that tell you how big a drill bit is, huh? That's the one it is, put it that way. I know those are 1/4 inch because I drilled them. Alright, have fun. So it's been a pretty good night. I doubled up these beams with angle iron, 1.5" angle iron. I have tons of it. I made 5 3/4 brackets that push the front up just a little bit so the seat leans back just a little bit. I sat in it, it's perfect. 2 strips of angle iron from left to right, front and rear, bolted to the seat. I'd like to connect those two. I might connect those front to rear too. just to have like a full square across the bottom. But man, this thing is comfortable. I might put one here. Could have double seats like that. At least they'd match, right? $100 for that seat. Yahoo! It's about an inch away from the tank, but not a big deal. It doesn't flex very much. I guess it does. That's okay. We'll put a piece of rubber or something back there. I don't think it's going to do much. But just straighten out the handlebars here. I have my bars just tight enough at the gooseneck that it'll hold its place if you let go of the wheel. That's kind of what you want to do, because if you let go of the handlebars on a trike, depending on your angle, it could take off like nothing and turn so sharp that you'd be going that way while it's going that way. But I gotta sit on my little stool here. Looks good. I think a matching seat for the front would be a good idea. And literally it would be, there's plenty of room. I probably have, it's like 10 inches between the two. I was thinking if these things stuck out and had like handle grips on or something, you could rest your feet here if you were sitting in the back. But it's comfortable to put your feet down here as long as you don't put your feet down here, because it will suck onto you and kill you instantly. So that would be the first warning. I'm thinking a seatbelt for the back would be a good idea too, because if I ever stop quick, they're going to squish me. Just as a safety, you know. You're not paying attention and, oh, I goose it and you fall off the back. Oh my God. Loving that fender. That is pretty cool. And it's almost on center. It's close enough. We're not building Corvettes here. It's a Trike made from a Kawasaki and a Volkswagen and some exercise equipment. I mean, and some Harley pieces and some aftermarket lights and Monte Carlo rims. But here's my new brace. It's actually all bolted together because I didn't want to weld it together and not be able to get it apart. So 4 bolts looks good, and there's actually 3 on the back rail. So I made these stick out just a little bit. I can always cut them off if they're too long, but I could put a piece from one or the other. Or I could put ammo cans in here. Who knows what? Could have storage on both sides. I could just skin the thing in thin diamond plate, polished aluminum. Do whatever you want. The battery is nowhere near the seat or the tank, and it's the perfect size. But looks good. Hope I didn't zoom in. No, good. I love the red straps. That really touches off the red. I need some more red, I think. The fender's going to be red. What else can be red? Maybe some white too. I'd like to do the rims in white. I have some Trans Am snowflakes behind the garage that are probably, oh hell, 35 years old. My friend Bob's father had a Trans Am, and I ended up with 2 of the wheels that he had taken off of it. And he is long since gone. So is the car. But I thought Trans Am snowflakes may be powder coated in white, or red and white, or something just to clash with red, white, and black. The whole Red Baron theme, you know what I mean. It's like the 5th person to tell me that my skull should be under here too. My $40 headlight. Look at how perfectly this windshield fits around that headlight. Like it belongs. That is awesome. Just a lot of measuring. I'll tell you this, if you can't use a drill, don't build a trike. You have to drill so many holes. And they have to be perfect because you have to line things up like body mounts and brackets and you name it. I could put a little console under here. Or a radio. Put some speakers here and put a radio. Nothing crazy, just a, what they call a mechless. A mechless radio. Doesn't have cassette, doesn't have CD. It has AM, FM, USB. I've got one in my van, I think you know that. Met a new guy, George, today. He came down and actually he bought one of my subwoofers. I have 3, I didn't need 3, I only needed 2. But I gave him some speaker wire because I have tons of wire. Already he wants to come back, not a problem. Seems like a nice guy. I think he's 39 or 35, something like that. You'll get to meet him, I'm sure. He wants to hang out and learn metalworking and do whatnot. But that's it, boys and girls. I'm going in. I can't wait for the next ride. Have a nice day, and have a good night, and have a great weekend. Actually, it's only What is today? Oh my God, it's only Wednesday. 2 more days of work. No! I get so much done on the weekend. It's incredible. Alright, well I got like, I don't know, 50 pictures or so to show you. I try to put them in intervals, like intervals as like when I'm talking about something like, oh, I'm talking about the back seat. I'll show you all the pictures of the back seat and then split it and dump all the pictures, you know what I mean? But I think it'd be better if I just put all the videos first and then show you all the pictures at the end. I'm going to try that maybe in this one, we'll see. But if you remember the bracket I had that came off the bumper, and it went to this, it did like an L bracket, and it went to this, and it was kind of flimsy. I didn't like it, so I cut it off. I recycled those. I cut them to 5 3/4 of an inch long, and I made those the uprights. Those are actually C-channel. Sorry, choking on my words here. C-channel. I think it's 2-inch C-channel, top to bottom. I could put a nice little radio there and maybe box it in so it doesn't get destroyed, or insulate it somehow so it doesn't get wet and get destroyed. I think that's a great idea. I'm going to have to measure that and see what I got. So I'm going to back up, take 1 or 2 pictures of the whole thing after I pick up some tools. Tools everywhere. Oh my God. Hey look, it's Dad's impact gun. Use it all the time, Dad. But that's it. I'm going in. Have a good night and enjoy the pictures. Okay, if I want to put a piece of oak here, it's going to be 13 by 6 1/4.